Imagine if you had a bar of gold and somehow you were able to duplicate that bar of gold perfectly, then sell that bar of gold and then keep the original for yourself. That sounds pretty scary, doesn't it? From an economical standpoint, it could completely flood the market with gold and lower the price drastically as a result of supply and demand. From a technical standpoint, how does one go and perfectly recreate the gold's molecular structure, mass, and chemical property? Nah man, I'm getting a bit off track. Now, you may or may not have heard of duped hats before, but it's a fairly well-known section of the trading scene. However, the general history and creation of it can sometimes be overlooked or inaccurate depending on who you ask. By the end of this video, I hope to educate all of you on the history of duped hats, how they're duped, and the effects. Let's begin. Duped hats are items that have been recreated or multiplied by a user or an admin. They're two of the exact same hats. Of course, this doesn't just apply to its name, level, and appearance. The actual ID that each hat possesses are both identical. An item's ID is extremely important because a multiplayer game like Team Fortress 2 has thousands of players playing simultaneously. If hats and items would have no ID or some form of number to attach to it, it'd be a huge mess. Games like TF2 have servers, loads of them, all over the world to host games internationally so that everyone can play. Within these servers are item servers. These item servers exist to prevent players from just spawning hats by themselves and flooding the market. They regulate the creation, transferring, and use of hats. Basically, the server organizes where every item is during every trade, match, and so on. IDs aren't that hard to check either. Many websites allow you to scan an item's history, ID, quality, and even its net worth. So whenever you see that terrible notification saying the item server is down, that basically means that your loadout and inventory is unable to be accessed because that server holding that data is now turned off or under maintenance. An example of a game that doesn't always use this system is Terraria. Terraria servers allow you to log into multiple servers with a loadout loaded from your own computer. These items that are loaded from your computer can then be edited and then played online with other people. This means that the player is able to give themselves items freely without any regulation. Of course, Valve doesn't want this to happen and implemented the item system. But how? How does a hat get duped in the first place? Back then, players were able to dupe hats through the use of bugs and glitches, which would result in a cloned hat. Of course, when Valve heard about this, they went, "This is bullshit. The TF2 economy is going to go to absolute shit. We must fix this at once." Of course, when money is involved, the team goes right onto it and fixes everything. So now the only way that any hat or item will be duped is if people have their accounts hijacked. When your account is hijacked, there's a high chance that the hijacker will take your items and then trade them away. If not, why are you guys hijacking accounts? There's literally no profit. It's a waste not to take those items when you get the chance. Anyways, those people affected can then send a ticket to Steam support and ask for help. Steam will verify if your account has indeed been hijacked and then will duplicate all of those items and then send it to the person affected. But why don't they just take the items back or delete them, I hear you say? Well, they did at one point. Imagine 5 years ago when you're in school and some kid goes, "Hey, I got a deal for you. I'll give you this pencil for $20, right? It's clean." And you have no way of knowing if it's contraband or not. You just know it's a pencil and you go, "All right, cool. I'll give you $20. All of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, some big ass administrator just comes your way and goes, "Fuck you," and just breaks your fucking pencil. That's basically what happened. That was duped items in a nutshell. Now translate that into Team Fortress 2. There's a burning team captain, it's been duped, but nobody knows. Some trader spends a shit ton of money to buy it. But then Valve just comes in out of nowhere and goes, "Hey, we don't want you to have that. It's duped." And just deletes it. Straight up just deletes it. It's gone. How do you think the traders felt? Leave your answer in the comments below. No, they felt furious. They felt absolutely furious. And understandably too, I would be really angry if I just lost all my items as well. So of course, Valve just realized their huge mistake and was just like, okay, we gotta do something else. And as you know, they introduced duping. But what are the effects of it on the TF2 economy? And how does duped hats affect trading? As a person who doesn't really trade much or really pays attention to anything in the market, I'm going to be leaving this to PyroJoe, a really experienced TF2 YouTuber and trader. Take it away, man.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe. Now firstly, I'm sure most of you have experienced multiple trades where people have either requested your item to be discounted because it's duped, or vice versa, where someone is selling their item for cheaper because it's duped. What makes this exact clone that looks identical to the initial hat be so much different from the original that it requires a different price, which is generally lower? Duped hats have a long-held reputation, ever since the initial conflict between Valve and their fans regarding this. Back then, duped hats were constantly rumoured to be deleted, and at one point, Valve even took action and deleted multiple duped hats, which made trading for them extremely risky. There was no guarantee that this hat would stay in existence. However, at this point in time, it's essentially confirmed that Valve will never delete any more duped hats. I mean, they have absolutely no motive or reasoning to do so. I think it's got to this stage now where there's literally hundreds of duped unusuals just sitting on the backpacks of people who've legitimately purchased them or legitimately traded for them without knowing that they were duped. If Valve removed every single duped unusual, it would just completely screw over hundreds and hundreds of legit traders who've purchased these items in legitimate ways. Some people say that duped hats often just have negative connotations or sometimes are just unclean to a trader, so they choose to buy it for much less. I mean, even me, myself, I've avoided hats because they're duped in the past, and that's just simply because I know that in the future it's going to be a pain to trade because a lot of other traders follow a similar mindset. Why would you buy an item that you know other people probably won't want?
Yep, PyroJoe is absolutely correct. As a trader, there are a lot of things that you need to weigh, like the pros and cons of buying a duped hat. You can get it at a cheaper price, but that doesn't guarantee that you'll make a profit off of it. Of course, if you're planning on keeping it, then it's no real problem. Hey there everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Now firstly, I have a Discord channel that not a lot of people are in, and I don't think I've shared it enough. So if you're watching this and you want to talk to me more or hang out with me, feel free to go into the Discord. It's going to be in the description below. Secondly, if you want to see PyroJoe's channel, it's in the description below as well. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.